there, and welcome to another episode of Nerdy Dads. And today, obviously, we'll continue to talk about 3D printer, which is the current adventure for me and the boys at the moment. I've got two boys, 10 and 6. We live in Sydney, Australia. It's an amazing place. And if you watched the video from last week, where I talk about my failure of 3D printing, the good news is this week I actually made some progress. Actually printed something out, and that was super exciting. I actually started the printing process on I think Sunday afternoon, and then so printed a little bit because the whole process took a bit over an hour to actually print out. It is slow. And so printed a little bit, and then we had to have to leave, and then came back, forgot about it. It was actually Harry, my 6-year-old, come shouting down at me saying, "Hey dad, come, the boat is ready." So yeah, and then we both came up and then found out, oh, there's 3D benchy. The model is called 3D benchy. So what actually happened there is I actually sent an email after the failure. I sent an email to JCar Australia, where I actually bought the machine from, and saying, hey, this thing I bought, I'm struggling with some guidance would be great. So they replied back saying, hey, try this 3D benchy as a test and just see how it goes. And so I was very skeptical, but tried it out anyway. And it turned out, yeah, that's great, it works. And also sort of found out why it works. And it's partly just because of that 3D benchy model is, I think the quality of the model is a lot better. And it's one area that I haven't really explored too much as yet. So following the success from there, so my 6-year-old is doing a show and tell on Cheetah. So I found this little Cheetah model, and yeah, I've been trying to print this thing out. As you can see, it's not great quality, and it also lost its leg as well. And the reason it lost its leg is because of this. You can see everything is, there's a lot of 3D, like the filaments stuck on the plate now. So this is the 3D printing plate, and it's really hard to get them off now. I tried so many different things and just couldn't get it off. I think, so what I'm doing right now is to find some area that is not sticky and position the model over there to actually print it out so I can still kind of pay it off. So what happened with the Cheetah you just saw, its leg is supposed to be here, but then yeah, it just got stuck, couldn't get it out at all, ended up losing the leg. And this costs about, I think, 30 Australian dollars. So not cheap, but well, I guess I'll have to find a way to replace it. I might try to replace it with a glass plate, and apparently the glass plate is like, it's harder to actually scratch, and hopefully be easy to get things off as well. So I might try that sometime next week. But yeah, at least printed something out. Got this disabled Cheetah and the little bolt thing, where I'm now going to show you about the model. Okay, so I just want to quickly talk about the model selection kind of process here. Thanks, that's where I go most of the time to get some of the models. So if I haven't been playing around this thing for very long, obviously, but so I'll come in here. For example, I was talking about the 3D benchy tool. So I'll come in here, select the model, and just download the model. And Cheetah again, so I can come in here and just look for the Cheetah model, and yeah, just hit download. But one thing it's not very clear to me, and that's one area that I do need to explore a bit, is the model quality. So this is the Creality print tool, where I can actually load the downloaded files. For example, I got one Cheetah here. Once I've got it, I actually realize it's actually really small. What I can do is to actually come here and scale it out a little bit. Yeah, so if I move it like this, I can actually make it bigger, and I can turn it, rotate, etc., as well. So this thing actually shows me how the internal structure kind of works, and you can see this is kind of like layer by layer kind of thing. And let me now also load the 3D benchy as well. So I can actually load multiple in the same area. So I got 3D benchy now. This is what I was talking about earlier, where because my plate is actually all scratched, but I can actually select the model and actually move them around a little bit to find an area that that's not yet damaged too badly, and try to print from there. So what happens here is like I got the model, it's been loaded, and I've already configured my printer. So this is the printer that I'm using, and this is the filament that I'm using. So by doing that, there's a lot of pre-configured settings that's already been done. But if I click the other settings button, there's actually more things that I can choose from here as well. Yeah. But once that's all done, I can then hit this slice button. So I've got a GPU on this particular machine, so it runs pretty quickly, but on a normal laptop, this can actually take much longer. So what happens is it actually converts the model into a G-code file. It's the G-code file that the 3D printer actually needs. It literally actually just, tells the printer, as you can see, this is the printing head. This G code file will actually just kind of go, okay, you are here, print this, and you can see each layer and how the whole thing get printed out in the end. So I actually think, oh, that's actually pretty cool. And I was saying before, like just this tool model, it doesn't look very obvious from here, but the quality difference is actually pretty big. And yeah, I think that's one of the area I definitely need to try to explore a little bit more about. There seems to be certain models that can print out with better quality compared to others. Okay, these are our achievements to date. We've printed two. This is a 3D benchy. This is part of the testing print. You can see this one is actually much better quality compared to the little Cheetah here. The Cheetah is, in some areas, is actually not bad. If you look at the face, it's actually reasonable, but the body is quite, you can see the layers in the body. And the biggest problem with this is when I try to take it off, I actually broke its leg. So not great, but at least it's better than what I've got before. And the main changes, I think, is I just use the print the 3D benchy. You can actually tell the model design itself actually makes a pretty big difference to the outcome. As you can see, my board here is scratches everywhere. So I'm trying to get these things off with the tool here. I've got a bleeding finger. The thing is I kind of figure out. So you can see on here, this filament has got a print temperature and bed temperature setting that's required. So and yeah, it can also be set here as well, and also during the print I can actually keep on resetting the temperature. So we can see the nozzle is 41 now and the bed is 34, so this needs to be 220. So I'll set it to 220 and this one 55-ish. The other thing is the Z offset. So minus 1.54 seems to be working for me quite well at the moment, but this is where how far away is the nozzle from the bed. And if this is not set properly, it's going to cause a problem. And yeah, I haven't got a really good way of setting it. But back to the toys. I mean, the boys are pretty excited about the benchy, and when we said we're going to do the Jagger thing today, they were like quite happy with it as well. They actually picked the model. But obviously my printer actually still have some calibration problem as well, so that's also something I need to try to play around with. But I thought I'll just quickly come here and show how there's some level of control that can be done in the print tool as well. So yeah, with that said, I'll continue to explore and look forward to actually see you in the next video.